Top 10 Notorious Mount Everest Climbing Death. The majestic Mount Everest, towering over 29,000 feet above sea level, has captured the hearts of climbers worldwide. The thrill of reaching the highest point on Earth has lured adventurers since the early 1920s. Yet Everest is as deadly as it is beautiful. The harsh weather, altitude sickness, and treacherous terrains have claimed over 300 lives. We'll remember 10 of the most notorious climbing deaths in Everest history. 10. George Mallerie and Andrew Irvine, the Lost Pioneers. George Mallerie and Andrew Irvine embarked on an ambitious journey to conquer Mount Everest in 1924, long before the first successful summit was officially recorded. Their last known location was a mere 1,000 feet below the peak, after which they mysteriously disappeared. Mallerie's remains were found 75 years later, in 1999, renewing speculation about whether the pair might have been the first to reach the summit. However, this theory remains unproven due to the missing evidence: Irvine's body and the camera he was reportedly carrying, which could potentially hold photographic proof of their achievement. Their fateful expedition remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in the world of mountaineering. 9. The 1970 Japanese Avalanche, worst single event fatality. In 1970, Mount Everest bore witness to its deadliest single event catastrophe. A colossal avalanche unleashed its wrath on a Japanese expedition team and 6 Sherpas, ensnared in the notorious Kumbu Icefall. This area, known for its unstable ice blocks, became a chilling death trap as the avalanche engulfed the climbers. Despite the climbers' experience and skill, the relentless force of nature gave them no chance of survival, instantly entombing them under a massive wave of ice and snow. This incident marked one of the darkest days in Everest history, highlighting the mountain's unpredictability and lethal potential. 8. Suang Sanla, Suang Palger, and Dorje Morup. The ill-fated Indian expedition. The 1996 expedition by a team from India ended in a grim tragedy. A brutal blizzard resulted in the deaths of 8 climbers. Among them were Suang Sanla, Suang Palger, and Dorje Morup. These 3 brave climbers had successfully reached the summit and were in the midst of their descent when the storm struck. Palger, encased in a tomb of ice, was eerily recognizable by his bright green mountaineering boots, earning him the posthumous nickname of Green Boots. The devastating loss of these climbers adds another somber chapter to Everest's perilous history. 7. Rob Hall and Doug Hansen, tragic heroes of the 1996 disaster. Rob Hall and Doug Hansen were leading a commercial expedition on Everest when they were caught in the deadly storm of 1996, the same blizzard that claimed the lives of several other climbers. Stranded on the south summit, Hansen found himself too weak to continue the descent. Instead of leaving Hansen to save himself, Hall made the noble decision to stay by his side. Their heartbreaking tale of heroism in the face of imminent death was later chronicled in the Jon Krakauer book, Into Thin Air. Despite the odds stacked against them, Hall and Hansen exhibited extraordinary bravery and unwavering camaraderie on the highest peak of the world. 6. Yasuko Namba, a triumphant tragedy. Yasuko Namba etched her name in history as the second Japanese woman to conquer Everest's summit. At 47, she held the record as the oldest woman to accomplish this feat. However, her victory was tragically short-lived. Descending from the peak, Namba was caught up in the infamous 1996 blizzard that claimed several lives, including hers. The severe storm conditions led to her death due to exposure. Namba's triumph, followed by her tragic demise, underscores the bittersweet reality of mountaineering, where great accomplishments can be quickly overshadowed by dire consequences. 5. Tenzing Norgay, the Sherpa hero. Tenzing Norgay's legacy in the annals of mountaineering history is undisputed. Partnering with Sir Edmund Hillary in 1953, Norgay was a pivotal member of the first team to successfully reach the Everest summit. This triumph challenged the world's understanding of Everest's daunting height and painted a portrait of perseverance and fortitude for all future climbers. Although Norgay's death in 1986 did not occur on Everest, the loss was felt across the climbing community. His life and achievements continue to be an inspiration, and he remains an enduring symbol of the Sherpa community's courage, determination, and indispensable contribution to Himalayan mountaineering. His spirit, epitomizing human resilience against nature's harshest elements, continues to echo in the icy ridges and slopes of Everest. 4. Hannelore Schmatz, first woman to die on Everest. Hannelore Schmatz etched a grim milestone in Everest's history in 1979, becoming the first female fatality on the mountain's harsh slopes. After reaching the peak successfully, Schmatz, alongside another climber, made the perilous decision to camp just below the south summit due to overwhelming exhaustion. A rescue operation was initiated to bring the climbers back to safety, but it was tragically too late for Schmatz. Her life serves as a stark reminder of the relentless toll the mountain can take on even the most experienced climbers. 3. David Sharp, a controversial death. The chilling demise of British climber David Sharp in 2006 raised eyebrows and provoked deep-seated moral debates within the mountaineering community. Sharp succumbed to extreme hypothermia and oxygen depletion, dying in a notorious cave identified as Green Boots, the same cave where Indian climber Suang had met his fate a decade earlier. As he lay dying, a shocking number of climbers passed him by without offering substantial aid, focusing instead on their own summit bids. The apparent disregard for a fellow climber's life led to a wave of criticism and introspection, triggering a robust debate on the ethics and morals inherent in the pursuit of climbing Mount Everest. 2. Frances Arsentif, the tragic Sleeping Beauty. In 1998, Frances Arsentif achieved an incredible feat by becoming the first American woman to reach the summit of Everest without the aid of supplemental oxygen. But this triumphant achievement quickly turned tragic. During her descent, Frances became separated from her husband, Sergei. Despite the efforts of fellow climbers who found her, Frances' life could not be saved. For several years, her body remained visible on the mountain's icy slope, a solemn reminder of the deadly risks associated with Everest's unpredictable conditions. This tragic sight led to her being poignantly nicknamed Sleeping Beauty. Frances' story is a stark testament to both the grand triumphs and the unforgiving cruelties that can be experienced on the world's highest peak. 1. The 2014 Icefall, the Sherpa disaster. April 18, 2014, marks the deadliest day in Mount Everest's history when a formidable avalanche occurred in the Khumbu Icefall, resulting in the loss of 16 Sherpa lives. This tragic incident cast a spotlight on the extreme risks that Sherpas endure as they facilitate expeditions for climbers from around the globe. The catastrophic event instigated a complete halt of climbing activities on the mountain for the rest of the year, an unprecedented occurrence in Everest's history. This disaster prompted an intense worldwide debate about Sherpa safety, fair wages, and the high-risk role they play in the mountaineering industry. The 2014 Icefall tragedy will forever be a grim reminder of the immense human cost associated with climbing Mount Everest.